It's Batman Day 2025. Yep. September 20th is Batman Day. And I thought, what would be a nice way to celebrate Batman than going through a list of my top 7 Batman movies. By Batman movies, I mean live action Batman movies. Animated movies and stuff, that would take a different category. I have to do a different video on that, and especially Batman animated series, that'll have to be I'll have to be something completely different. But I'm gonna go through my top 7 Batman movies, right? Top 7 Batman movies that I like. I'm gonna be going through them, giving reasons why I like them, all of that, right? So let's start off at number 7. I know this one is going to be a little bit controversial, but Batman Forever. Okay, it's not the most fantastic Batman movie, and we all know that George Schumacher kind of started to screw up the Batman universe when he did this. But I saw it when I was younger. It was a fun movie at the point in time, right? And again, I must give credit to the late Val Kilmer. He did the best he could with a decent role. That's what happened, right? But overall, I mean, the movie had its certain high points to it. Understand me? Jim Carrey as the Riddler I thought was a really nice take on it and stuff. He played that role very wacky and silly and interesting. It was fun. It was really fun. Nicole Kidman in there was interesting. Everything in the movie. The movie had some interesting points too. All right. I wasn't a big fan of the Batmobile, but it was okay overall. Like I say, most of us kind of saw this movie when we were kids, and at the point in time, now we could say the movie was not that good, but at the point in time, I still say the movie actually was interesting. I find it was fun. So it goes on to my list at number 7, Batman Forever. Right? At number 6, The Dark Knight Rises, 2012. The third installment in Christopher Nolan's epic trilogy. This brought a fitting end to an amazing story, right? What I love most about this movie is that it shows not only Batman, but Bruce Wayne himself having to rise up from pain and suffering, right? Because, Bane broke his back, threw him into a prison and everything, leaving him there to rot. He had to rise up again to do it, right? You also had Bane and the League of Shadows descending onto Gotham like a plague and taking control. It was really interesting to see this once corrupt city literally brought to its knees. That was epic. Now, my one complaint I have about the movie is that I think Bane should have had his comic book racial origin. Nothing wrong with the actor who played him, and I'm just saying I think that would have gone well better because, you kind of got a more interesting thing for it. They built a whole story around it, but this one, okay. But I thought that would have been a little bit better in my regard. Yes, there were also some continuity issues in the movie, but the way Batman actually comes back during the high-speed chase and the way he escapes in the bat, that was freaking sick. You got to admit that was pretty badass. Now, why this movie more than deserves to be on the list is that the series humanizes Batman, and this movie ended Bruce Wayne's journey as Batman. Because The Dark Knight Rises was the end of the trilogy. And that was kind of the fun thing about this trilogy. You understood that this was going to have to end. It was going to have to reach its conclusion. That's what happened. It played out its part. I think it did it well. And I think that was a good way to wrap it up overall. So yeah. Next up, Batman Begins. This is the first movie in Christopher Nolan's trilogy. It gave a more detailed look into not only Bruce Wayne's life, but saw him becoming a symbol that Gotham City desperately needed. Right? Now, just I'm going to get this out of the way. Christian Bale's back voice was horrible. Really horrible. Yet after about like 45 minutes, you kind of got used to it. That was kind of the thing. The overall movie was pretty good. We got some bat gadgets. We got Ra's al Ghul, and I am not going to say Raz al Ghul. It's pronounced Ra's al Ghul, people. And it plot to destroy the city. That was interesting. The whole thing about, the whole League of Shadows and all of that. All that was interesting. You had Scarecrow, you understand me, and a homage scene from Batman Year One with a swarm of bats attacking the police and the Batmobile, aka the Tumbler. I mean, I was not a big fan of the Tumbler when I first saw it in the preview, but it worked magnificently in the movie. It really did work for what was going on there. This was the movie that kind of restarted the Batman movie mania, and it deserves endless praises for that. Because whether you think the movie, okay, the movie didn't make over $1 billion, but you have to understand where it was starting from. There hadn't been any good Batman movies for quite some time, any good live action Batman movies for quite some time. And this one set on everything pretty well. So that by the time the second movie came around, people were literally, drooling for it. So that's what this movie did really, really well. Really did well. Next up is our classic Batman Returns from 1992. Right? Yes, again, this movie is a classic. That's the best way to describe this movie. After the success of the first movie, Michael Keaton returned to reprise the role of Batman. Now, in the second film, we see the Cape Crusader facing off against Penguin. And this was a role that Danny DeVito was pretty much seemingly born to play. And his sewer-dwelling gang and all of that. The Penguin rises from the sewers to avenge his childhood abandonment by kidnapping all of Gotham's firstborn children. I mean, it's kind of a little biblical, but it was fun. Yet what exploded this movie along with the Penguin was Catwoman, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. Whether you like it or you do it, I mean, her outfit was literally hauntingly sexy, and that's instantly imprinted on the minds of everyone who watched the movie. I mean, for a long time, that was kind of the staple for a Catwoman movie. I mean, Catwoman outfit. That was what kind of did it. It really just kind of worked there for everything. I mean, plus the exploding wind-up penguins were kind of cute too, until they were exploding wind-up penguins, but still. I mean, the movie tackled corporate corruption, hate, love, life, and so the expansion of Batman's rogues gallery, which was always pretty good to see. I mean, even though we never got that third movie in this franchise, and there were rumors of one that would have included, or that would have introduced a Robin and stuff, this movie is still really good. No matter how you try to play it, it is really, really good. It is a good movie. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. Next on the list, I'm going to give this to the Batman from 2022. Okay, I know you're thinking, this was an updated movie, should be higher on this and all that. But here's the meal. The reason why I like the Batmans, because you actually got Batman having to do some investigative work, which is what I always enjoy. You understand me? They kind of did turn Riddler into like a serial killer, which isn't really how the character's supposed to be depicted. But it worked in the sense for what they were doing. Because one thing I've always said is that Batman's villains make him better at what he does. And Riddler is the one villain that literally makes Batman smarter. Because Riddler is smart. He's evil and sick, but he is smart. And Batman also figure out his riddles, figure out what's going on. That's what happened. The movie had some interesting plot points to it. I mean, okay, yes, we did kind of get emo Batman. I should say emo Batman. We did kind of get more like emo Bruce Wayne. And Batman did a lot of walking in that. He was walking out of shadows instead of just appearing, which would have been much cooler. The Batmobile was okay. It was an interesting Batmobile, the big jet engine to the back. What I'm like, if it had been a little bit more, Batman-like something, but not bad. We got a Catwoman in that movie also. We got different aspects. We got a Penguin and even a spin-off Penguin series. But overall, the movie had its high points to it. But again, what really put it over the top for me was Batman having to do some investigative work. I always like that when Batman has to do investigative work because, he isn't called the world's greatest detective for nothing. You want to see Batman do good detective work. You want to see his gadgets. You want to see the Batmobile. These are the things that you look for. So once you can get that, you're good. This movie did deliver on that front. So yeah, the Batman definitely deserves a place on this list. Now, before we make it to the top of the list, we have The Dark Knight from 2008. This is hands down the best movie of Christopher Nolan's trilogy. Hands down. And one key element makes it the best. The Joker, played by the late Heath Ledger. He was outstanding as the Joker for what this movie needed. His brilliant performance in the role cannot be underscored. This dark version of Gotham City gave rise to a psychological thriller that pulled at the very moral fabric of social structure. It exposed corruption, crime, and how madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. As Batman literally has to fight a city gone mad, while Joker played puppet master, all while he meticulously crafted Harvey Dent into Two-Face to fit his twisted schemes. Because that's really what happened. I mean, maybe Joker may not have been planning for Harvey Dent to become Two-Face, but he set it up brilliantly for it to happen. It really was interesting. We quickly showcase a couple of honorable mentions. We have Batman, the movie from 1966. Adam West's Batman portrayed a much more humorous style of Batman. His campy 60s take on the character was silly as it was made for children. It gave us the first look at Batman's dance moves as well as toy-like devices and vehicles. The movie saw Batman facing off against Joker, played by Cesar Romero, Penguin, and Catwoman, played by Lee Merriweather. The movie is a riot and worth watching with the family to enjoy and have a laugh. So if you want to sit down and enjoy a movie, this is it. This Batman movie with Adam West and Burt Ward, it is worth a fun watch. It is interesting like that. Next up, we have Batman and Robin. Let's move on. We have Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, honestly, I was not a fan of this movie, especially Batman's portrayal in it. No offense to Ben Affleck, well, maybe a little, but the movie as a whole made no goddamn sense in my mind. Batman was basically a pointy-head digger who wanted to murder Superman because he was an alien. Yeah, we get it. Lex Luthor was manipulating things behind the scene, but he really didn't have to. He didn't have to, as the old Bat was out to do it anyway. Lex Luthor was trying to stuff, but he didn't really have to do it because he just kind of pushed Batman over the line. Batman wanted to kill Superman because he was like, oh, Kong the dead Alfred. What if he turns or something? And that's always the concern in regards to it. The plot was rushed. The movie was rushed. It should have gone in a different direction with Superman winning the fight. I honestly think so till this day. And both their mothers and name Martha will be a running joke for years to come. Apart from a somewhat cool warehouse fight scene, the Batmobile and Batjet, nothing else Bat-related in this movie is interesting. But we did get to see the first live-action team-up of the DC Trinity with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So that was interesting, but I think could have done some more. I honestly think this movie was rushed, you could say, because they were trying to catch up to what the MCU were doing, and they fumbled and made fools of themselves. But the movie didn't make sense in my regard, but I'm just saying that was my take on it. Now we have Justice League, the Snyder Cut. So let me just pretend the whole Joss Whedon version didn't happen, right? So this is this movie. This movie saw Batman recruiting a team in the wake of Superman's death. In Dawn of Justice. That being the case, we get to see the return of Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot, Flash, played by Ezra Miller. Now, again, Ezra Miller, not sure what character he was trying to play in it because he wasn't playing Barry Allen at all. But he had some interesting scenes in it. So I will give credit is due. You had Aquaman played by Jason Momoa, and the rise of we had Cyborg by Ray Fisher and all of that. After the mess of the previous movie, Batman makes an action-packed comeback when he takes on the parademons using his tricked-out Batmobile, his badass skills, and joins with a team and a revived Superman to end Steppenwolf. And it does play out really well. In my opinion, it's the best Justice League movie I've seen done, well, ever. That was the thing about it, a live-action Justice League movie, I mean. Whenever, it was good. It was good. Yes, it isn't fully a Batman movie, but since it isn't, it does play a large role. That's why I'm kind of giving it an honorable mention here. But number one on my list is Batman from 1989. I know what you're going to say. It have more updated action-packed Batman movies than this and all of that. But this movie started the Batman movies for me. And I think a lot of other people as well. It was spectacular for its time, and like fine wine, it has only gotten better with age. Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film was revolutionary. The city of Gotham was depicted as a spooky art deco nightmare, slick and cool, yet teeming with danger. Jack Nicholson's portrayal of Joker as a terrifying crime clown prince, a crime, whatever, with dangerous plans for the city. It was interesting because you wouldn't expect Jack Nicholson to pull off a role like that, but he did it really well. He did it really well, and it was fun. It was interesting. It was really interesting. Yet Michael Keaton's portrayal as both Bruce Wayne and Batman was pretty much spot on. Dark, quiet, brooding, yet covering his pain and focusing on his mission. The Batsuit looked great. This was how I always thought Batman was going to look. That was it. Design with the muscles and the yellow and black symbol on the chest just screamed Batman. Plus, I absolutely love the Batmobile and the Batjet, not to mention the toys or Bat gadget. This movie is fantastic, and to be honest, even when you see it showing on TV, you still have to watch it. You know that you still have to watch it because it still is that good. There's no denying that. There's no denying that this movie is still fantastic to this. So there are my top Batman movies. You tell me what you think and let me know in the comments if you think any should be higher or lower on the list or anything like that. I've tried to do some other Batman list when I get some time. But that's what's going on. So until next time, same Bat time, same Bat channel. I'll see you all later. Take care.